that this is Marxism and it's not racial justice. I think that's where that question was coming from. How do you separate what is true racial justice and how does Marxism, how is it diluting or putting on a facade of being racially just when it's really just Marxism, like a wolf in sheep's clothing? So Kevin or Neil?
Yeah. Kevin, you want to take that? I mean, I can answer some of that.
Okay. So the person that asked the question is absolutely correct. So, and Neil is, he's the intellectual, academic on this team. I'm just a brother from the hood. I just try to bring some stuff up, and if it lands, great. But Neil is really the mind. So, but I do want to say this is. What Neil was saying is that there were two institutions that the Marxist communists targeted. It was the educational institution, and number two was our religious institutions. They started to work with, Catholicism and South American Catholicism, and that's where we got liberation theology, which is all Marxist roots, is from the South American, Central American brand of Catholicism. And then they said, look, in order for us to, like Neil said, in order for us to really make our mark, to really cause division and strife, we have to, if we can infiltrate the Black church and if we could start to really make some inroads into causing these issues so we can have more of an inroads within the Black community. And so we had figureheads like James Cone, who adapted South American liberation theology and called it Black liberation theology. And James Cone, believe it or not, is well respected in Black churches in general. I'm generalizing, and his brand of Black liberation theology is taught over our pulpits or at least embraced by a lot of Black theologians. And so the issue with that, though, is that we've supplanted, we've subverted the gospel. We've subverted the gospel message. Ephesians 2:15 to 22 talks about Jesus has come, and he has ended all of the dividing walls, all of the divisions between Jew and Greek and Gentile, and all disparities between us. And now we're fully reconciled through him, through Jesus. And so it's really an issue when you have Black theologians and pastors who accept and fully embrace these foreign ideologies that are more divisive and do not unify us. And it's really hard for us to get to the point of racial reconciliation by adapting, even marginally adapting, critical race theory, liberation theology, in these and social justice ministries, or the social justice gospel. We can't merge these theologies because it doesn't work. Paul admonished the church in Galatians 1:8 and 1:9. He repeated himself. He says, look, I don't care if even angels come forth and give you another gospel. He says, if anyone or anything preaches another gospel other than what we have preached, they are accursed. So here's the issue. And he repeated almost verbatim the next one in Galatians 1:9. So here's the issue. Are we cursing our churches and communities by bringing up this sort of infused social justice gospel with our biblical text? I believe we are. And I believe that a lot of the shaking right now that we're experiencing within the church is a result of sort of these fallen ideologies that are being infused with the purity of the gospel message. So we have a lot of work to do. So that's why Neil and I have committed for 2021 to go out every other weekend, whatever church community in the country, and provide remnant rising workshops. And those workshops are designed to address these issues very specifically, and also help church leadership actually actually, again, fully embrace the gospel as the gospel. The reality is we have a toxic theology right now. I'm generalizing, but for the most part, we have a toxic theology, and it's driven a great division within our church communities. And it must be addressed. And it is being driven by these, social cultural constructs like BLM, critical race theory, white fragility, white privilege, these things that we're seeing and sensing in throughout culture. And they need to be addressed. And so he and I are committed to doing that. If you have a church community and you'd like us to come and visit and talk about remnant rising, we're keen to do that. You can handle that. You can contact us however you want to contact us. But anyway, this is a real issue, needs to be addressed. God's given us the capacity to do it. And so that's what we're doing.